will be delivered. So only and only if we watching. How do you watch? You keep the commandment. Don't just think you're watching, you sit by your window and then you get your, how do you got your tortilla chips, right? And you got your maybe your beer, you're drinking your beer, you're looking through your window to see maybe somebody come. He's not talking about that. He's not talking about watching that way. Okay? Don't get it. You don't watch like that. Watch it therefore. You go in the Bible, you look up what's going on. Right? You got to dive into the article, the news, so what's going on. Okay, they're shooting here. All right, let's check it out. Okay, this, inflation, recession thing. You gotta be on top, man. You gotta be on top of this game. Yeah, that's right. Because some of them, they've been sitting by the window, looking through the window. They maybe they're defiling the temple. They got some cigar smoking, defiling the temple, drinking some Kool-Aid. They got some tortilla chips. The food, looking through the window, watch that. You're not talking about that. That's not watching. Okay, you're deceiving your own self. We don't tell you to watch like that. You watch by keeping the commandment. You watch by repenting. You repent, you stop sinning, you stop breaking the law of the commandment of the Most High, you keep the Shabbat, you observe and you keep the high holy feast of the Most High. That's how you watch. And you don't slumber. You don't get scared. Well, the news just getting too scary. No, that means, guess what? You are not watching. That means you a chicken. Okay, that means you little chicken. Right? You little chicken, man. And you nothing than what? Bull liquor. Bull liquor, literally. Right? All right, let's continue. He said, let me bring this out as well. Right? This is the book of Matthew. Right? This is the book of Matthew chapter 24 and verse 14. And this gospel of the kingdom shall be preached in all the world for a witness. Just for a witness. It's not to save everybody. No, it's for a witness. Because the day of judgment, you're going to be judged based on the Bible. God is not going to judge you based on the Quran. It's not happening. Okay? Okay? God is not going to judge you based on the Quran. And Allah will not be on the judgment seat. Okay? There won't be no Muhammad and there will not be no Allah in the judgment seat. Okay? In the judgment seat, there won't be no East Indian, no Chinese. No. In the judgment seat, there will be only who? The Israelite. Okay? The servant of the Most High. And how are you going to be judged? You're going to be judged based on the Bible. Okay? You're going to be judged based on the Bible. You won't be judged based on democracy, freedom, free will. No. You're going to be judged based on what? The Bible and your own work. Everything you've done since the day you were born, you're going to be judged based on that and based on the Bible. Okay? Okay? So keep in mind, the Quran won't be in the judgment seat. There won't be no Quran in the judgment seat. You may want to hurry up, right? And come out from all those lies you were given. You may want to hurry up. Okay? So keep in mind. He said, let's read it again. He said, this gospel of the kingdom shall be preached in all the world for a witness unto all nations. Just. That's why you read in the Christian church, you say, you see, we got to, everybody's going to be saved. No, he's not talking about that, buddy. Okay? He's not talking about that. Okay? You nothing than useless eaters. Useless eaters. You know, you useless eater. Good for nothing. Okay? The scripture say, for a witness. The sentence is not over. For a witness. So the word of the Most High is going to witness against them. That's all. It doesn't mean because you preach unto them they're going to be saved. Yeah, everybody comes in. No, he's not talking about that. Unto all nations. And then shall the end come. And that's what is happening. With the era of the internet, the gospel being preached throughout the fucking this earth right now. With the era of the internet, the gospel being preached throughout the fucking this earth. Right? In every country, there is no one. Every country, at least 1 or 3 people have seen the Hebrew Israelite video on TikTok, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and the list goes on and on. They might ignore it, but they come across it. They came across it. All right? So they're being warned right now already. Okay? Let's continue. Let's read 2 more precepts. All right? Right? Let's read 4 more precepts, right? He said, now the Spirit speak expressly that in the latter time, right? Some shall depart from, 1 Timothy 4:1. Some shall depart from the faith, giving heed to seducing spirit and doctrine of devil. Like they're giving themselves unto what? Soccer game, football, yeah, Democrat, I'm Republican, I'm liberal, I'm conservative, blah, blah, blah. Psh. Let's jump to the next article. Okay? All right? Let's read this. It says, Russia attacks Ukraine. Severodonetsk completely under Russian occupation. In the beginning, what did they say? Ukraine is winning, and yay, yappy, yappy, Ukraine win. Yeah, we got it, we got it. Right? That's what I told you, right? Who? MSNBC, ABC News, CBS News, Fox News, CNN News, all your mainstream media, right? That's what they made you believe, right? Okay. So if they're winning, why they still sending them weapons? If the Ukrainian literally winning, why they still sending them more weapon? Why they still throwing more gasoline to the fire? Let's read this article. It said the eastern Ukrainian city of Severodonetsk is now under complete control by Russian forces. There we go. There we go. The city's top military administration officials say yesterday it just happened. The whole city of Severodonetsk is under the full control or complete control of Russian forces. There we go. Okay. It said the Russians have fully occupied Severodonetsk. Our military has retreated to more prepared position. Oleksandr Stryk told Ukrainian TV, according to the BBC and CNN News. There we go. The move comes after a month of artillery bombardments in the city. The Washington Post reported Russian troops are now advancing toward the neighboring city of Lysychansk. Regional Governor Serhiy Haidai said early Friday, the Russia already moving to the next city. Right? The Russia already moving to the next city. I'm telling you. All this is to expose Esau-Edom. Right? Because they don't want to keep it. They don't keep it home. The wicked, they don't keep it home. Watch this. He said, I want to bring this out from Al Jazeera. Right? He said, let me read you this. He said, in the early morning hour of August 31st, the last American soldier lifted up from Kabul airport, Afghanistan, right, where they just got an earthquake a couple of days ago, officially ending the 20-year war in Afghanistan. There's waging war in other people's country. How come the Afghanistani, the Afghan, can they come in America and wage war against the American for 20 years? No, it will not happen. But they can go to other people's country to wage war, a land that don't belong to you. That's why we tell you is America. And they drag the French, the German, the British, they all go. Once America say let's go, they follow America. They always go. Imagine, officially ending the 20-year war in Afghanistan, the longest in the U.S. history. The longest war is a war in Afghanistan. 20 years that war lasts. Imagine that you got, let's even suppose 3,000 Afghanistani. They come over here with bombs, with all type of arsenal, weaponry, and start waging war against the American. Imagine that. Imagine. Or let's suppose right now, after all the evil they've done to the Afghani, they destroyed the country, they've done all type of evil, they ruined the country fully, they destroyed the infrastructure. Guess what? And the Afghanistani, let's suppose 3,000 or 5,000 of them, they jump in some way, they're able to manage to come over here and they start taking over the city. And they start bombing city. They start bombing city in America. Do you think that will happen? No. The U.S. military or army is going to wipe them out in a wink of eye like that. But guess what? They can go to the other people's country and do that. But the Afghan, they can't come over here and do that. But the American can go over there and do that. You see? Are the Italian doing that? Is it the Roman Catholic Church doing that literally? Is the Roman Catholic Church telling them to do that? He said, at its peak in 2011, the U.S. had approximately 100,000 troops across at least 10 military bases from Bagram to Kandahar in Afghanistan. Just Afghanistan alone, they got 100,000 troops in foreign land. Talking about they're protecting the war, the interest. They're protecting U.S. interest. How can you have interest in my house? It's impossible. Do I have interest in my neighbor's house? No. That will call what? Trespassing. That is called, in the Bible, the Most High call it, let me bring it out quick. Right? Because Esau is the devil. That's all, man. Esau is the devil. Let's go right here. The Most High is against such spirit. It's a sin. That's covetousness, right? The Most High is against covetousness. So let's go read in the book of Exodus. I want to show you it's part of the so-called 10 Commandments. The 10 Commandments you talk about, let me show you what the Most High say. This is the book of what? This is the book of Exodus. Exodus chapter 20. And let's read from verses 10. No, actually, no, I don't want 10. Let's read from verses 17, right? Part of the 10 Commandments. Exodus chapter 20 and verses 17. Let's read it. It says, thou shalt not covet thy neighbor's house. You see that? They don't keep it home. Thou shalt not covet thy neighbor's house. Thou shalt not covet thy neighbor's wife. So they should be having interest in Afghanistan, Libya, Syria right now. They seized, they confiscated, they stole the oil field of the Syrian for the past since 2011. Who? The United States of America. They don't tell you that on your TV. Do they tell you that literally that the United States have seized, stolen the oil field, and they've been stealing the oil of the Syrian, taking away the food from the Syrian to break the country? They don't tell you that on your mainstream media, right? They don't tell you that. That's why the Most High will bring judgment upon every one of you, right? Because you don't care about what your politician doing. You don't care. You don't care. Once you get your food, your debit card, your credit card, you don't care. You don't care. He said, thou shalt not covet thy neighbor's wife, nor his manservant, nor his maidservant, nor his ox, nor his ass, nor anything that is thy neighbor's. So the Afghanistan belongs to the Afghani. Whether you believe it or not, point blank period. Syria belongs to the Syrian. Let them figure it out on their own. Okay? But because the fourth beast, which is dreadful than all the other beasts, than the other kingdom, is in power, there's fire everywhere. Every nation, everywhere is catching, everybody's catching hell under the ruling of this Edomite. Okay? So let's jump to this article right here. We're going to jump to it right here. We're going to read this quick, right? All right, let's read. It say, Russia attacks, no, it say, what if Russia uses nuclear weapon in Ukraine? Right? The 12 main directorate of the Russian Ministry of Defense operate a dozen central storage facilities for nuclear weapons, known as Object S site, and scattered across the Russian Federation. They contain thousands of nuclear warheads. You see that? Thousands nuclear warheads and hydrogen bombs with a wide variety of explosive yields. Imagine that. They got so many. For the past 3 months, President Vladimir Putin and other Russian officials have been ominously threatening to use nuclear weapons in the war against Ukraine. Now, this is mainstream media, right? That's the propaganda. That's how they talk, right? Now, when you go into history, how many times have you seen the Russians using nuclear bomb against anybody? How many times have you seen? In any war they get involved, how many times you see? How many times? Maybe one time. But now when you go in the history of the United States of America, they have used bomb against people many times. They drop bombs on the Japanese, right? Nagasaki and Hiroshima. They're the one that dropped the orange agent on the Vietnamese. They're the one that used cloud seeding against the Vietnamese, and the list goes on. They're the one that dropped bombs in Iraq, all these places. They dropped bombs in Afghanistan, and the list goes on and on and on. They're the one. The Russians don't have history of anything like that. No. Go look it up on your own. So don't just sit here. Some of you, I listen to some of you out there, you coon out there, the Russian, they're stupid. The Russian, man, you don't know what you're talking about. You don't know. You don't know what you're talking about. You don't know. You're running your mouth because of the piece of paper that you're getting from Babylon. That dollar you're getting just to be your mention in Africa, right? That's what make you go against the Russia, right? And you see evil, and you don't say anything about the evil, but you want to accuse other people. Meanwhile, you're still living in the midst of sin. But you want to sit down here now and accuse the Russian, right? You want to follow the way of Babylon the Great to accuse the Russian, calling them name all time. Meanwhile, the one setting up all this evil, all this trouble is literally the United States of America. They're the bullies in the whole world. They bully everybody. It doesn't matter. They bully everybody. You don't go down with them in the bed. Hey, listen, they're going to call you terrorist group, terrorist country. They're going to call you dictator. So keep in mind, he say, according to Pavel Padvig, the director of the Russian Nuclear Forces Project and a former research fellow at the Moscow Institute of Physics and Technology, now based in Geneva, the long-range ballistic missiles deployed on land, right, and on submarine are Russia's only nuclear weapon available for immediate use, right? If Putin decides to attack Ukraine with shorter range tactical